Welcome to Staying Healthy During Your Weight Loss Transformation. The real beauty in intuitive eating is that you approach it from a place of exploration and discovery, of playful open-mindedness, awareness, self-love, right? Sit in a very meditative state. I'm going to speak these mantras and you're going to see where they feel in your body. Does it feel true? Does it feel false? Does it bring up something you don't like? And we're just getting to know ourselves in relation to food and eating. And if something negative pops up, we breathe into it and we let it go, and it no longer exists. It's a good thing that we bring up this crap. Because once we see it and we know it's not true, we can move past it. Yeah, there we go. This is me. Yes, I started out, there was a big shift in me at one point when all of a sudden my eyes opened to the fitness world and I took it to the extreme. So I was a very complacent person that loved cooking at home and just making brownies every night and just overindulging and not doing anything. And then all of a sudden I met a community and together we got fit together. And after that, I lost a normal amount of weight, and then I started doing bodybuilding competitions. So this is a 4-year transformation in this picture. And I definitely took it to the extreme. And this is why I feel the need to talk to you guys, to people about my extreme stories, just to show you that you can learn from my extremes on how to find your balance point. Because now I'm at a balance point, right? But the extremes are unhealthy. When I was overweight, I wasn't open to life. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't realize that I wasn't either. You know, I didn't realize that I could feel better. And then once I got a taste for health, for working out, I took it to the extreme. And this is me at like 4% body fat. I didn't have my period. I didn't eat any fat. I dysregulated my system completely by taking it to the extreme. And I didn't have a lot of relationships because I was maintaining a food protocol that wasn't standard to eating with people, right? So I just didn't want to hang out with people because I couldn't eat with them. So this is part of my story to you on how to actually find that balance, because there is all these different lifestyles now, right? And it's hard when you have communities to actually be with people when everybody eats so differently and they all have different opinions, but I'm going to help you find that balance point for you. So right now, this is my current balanced lifestyle, what I'm living right now. I do weights once a week. I work out I do some sort of movement every day of the week except for one day. I do weights once a week, yoga 3 times a week, Pilates once a week, and I go on a nature trail once a week. Now, I don't do as much weight anymore because I did so much weight when I was doing bodybuilding competitions. So I always suggest people to do more weighted activities in general. And we'll get into more why later. I eat a balanced lifestyle. It's paleo, Mediterranean, fish, vegetables. It's not super strict. I do have sweets and things like that. And emotionally, every day, I meditate every day. It is my sanity. Yeah, so example of extremes: heavy detoxes, fasting, food counting, the binge restrict cycle. So during my bodybuilding competitions, I did end up restricting so much that when I would hang out with my friends afterwards, I would be eating whatever I wanted and it would just be too much and my body would just automatically purge it all up. I would just automatically throw up. I couldn't handle it. Because the extreme, I felt amazing in that bodybuild. And I did competitions for about 2 years. I felt amazing, like an animal, like extremely vital, but almost too much. right? It's something that you can't obtain. So then I would fall back and I'd be like, oh my God, I have to get back to that, what I used to be. And I was trying to catch something that I never could again. So I struggled with maintaining that feeling, that image that I put myself in. And so that's why I'm going to keep going into body positivity and finding your own balance and how to get off the wheel of binge and restricting. Because it took me a long time to recover and after the trauma of that. And I would never recommend bodybuilding to anyone. I mean, I did learn a lot, but I wouldn't personally recommend extremes. So for you guys,
you don't have to worry about that with me. I can't even. I couldn't even walk in those heels. Period. So it ain't gonna work.
That's good that you don't put yeah, it's really about like the pressure too you put on yourself. It's kind of the same. It's similar. Yeah, I took it to the extreme, but I think everybody can relate because there's a certain amount of pressure that goes into losing weight, right? And we're looking to just be free. And that's where true health comes from. So we are welcoming in a new lifestyle. That's what we're doing during this hour and a half. The first step is accepting, embracing who you are with loving acceptance for the ugly and the beautiful parts, right? We all have areas that are gross, right? We all poop and it smells, okay? And we all have beautiful, beautiful parts. And I think it's very healthy to have a balanced mind on our body and to know that we are both absolutely beautiful, but we can be ugly at the same time, right? They're just parts that aren't so pretty, but we can embrace it and just accept it. I know it's hard to hear, but it's not normal to live and expect yourself to always be perfect, right? And then when you set yourself up for that standard, you fall and it hurts, right? So it's good to have this balance and to know and to embrace who you are completely. So this is the programming of society. They push this unhealthy lifestyle on us, and they also push us to be perfect, right? And in the name of self-love, we have to push back and find a nice balanced position within ourselves. So another part of welcoming this new lifestyle that you guys are embracing is to be open-minded with yourself. There's always alternatives to the things that you're craving. There's always a way if you have a big enough will. Okay? Stay open, stay present, and find the joy in each moment of your healthy journey. And it's really all about living in the moment and finding what works for you each moment. So the goal is to make things very simple and joyful at the same time. This is supposed to be a happy, healthy journey. When you're healthy, you're happy. There's no pressure. So we're going to change everything on this mental, emotional, chemical, and physical level all at the same time. An important point that I need to say, the body, this is a big program that's out there, is that the body is not intelligent and not self-regulating, that the body does not heal. The body will automatically lose excess weight and detox itself when you are balanced. So just the automatic thing for us to do is to go to a medical doctor and to find something wrong, right? So this is a program that is saying there's something wrong, there's something wrong, there's something wrong. You can't do it yourself. That's what's underneath it. But things are shifting now where you need where we need to realize that the body heals itself. Think about this guy, he broke a bone, the bone heals itself. And that is magical. That is beautiful and natural, the way the body does that. And your body will do that with weight and your physical vitality. Once you take care of it and find a balanced state, naturally symptoms will go away, pain will go away, weight will go away, new emotions will come in. It all comes together when we believe in our body. Yeah, so that we don't want to try to control. This is weight loss. I need to lose weight for the new year, right? Like everybody's got it in their head. I need to stick to this. I need to work out this, and I need to set my timer and get up at this time. I need to. And you cannot force your body into submission. Okay, you really can't, because your body is healing. Your body is God, right? Your body is it does magical things. It creates babies. It self-heals. Your hair grows. Your nails grow. This is all things your body does. So your body is healing. And it's very magical. It's not just scientific, it is godlike. Want versus need. What do you mean? Mm-hmm. I can't hear. You're not on mute, Kathy. I wonder why. Oh. Can you hear me? I think she's figuring it out. Okay. Yeah, so when we try to control our body too much, it's like trying to force God to do something. And it's like trying to force nature. And nature doesn't like that. God doesn't like that. You have to balance yourself and allow God to express itself inside of you, to healing to just come up naturally, for weight loss to come up naturally, for the disease to fall off naturally, for the symptoms, the pain to come off naturally. Yes, it takes effort, right? It does take effort. It takes consistency. But when you get to the point where you start to feel too much pressure, how do I? Yes.
No,
Kathy.
I think I got my microphone working. It has this extra little button, and I bumped it and it automatically muted me. You can hear me now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, in one of my processes during therapy over my lifetime, one of my therapists and I talked a lot about the pressure I put on myself when I keep saying I need to versus I want. Like the I need to is like imperative. It's like something you're not doing right. It's those versus saying, I'm choosing to make these changes for myself, not I need to for anybody else or for those kinds of things. So that's what I meant by that shift in mindset between want and need. That need is always so desperate versus I'm choosing this. I want this for myself.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. That gets to my point in the fact that what is happening is that this is a primal, since there's so much media and everything, it turns out to be a primal safety that we need to, I'm not sure what you're talking about in reference to weight loss. Kathy, is that what you're talking about in reference to?
Well, I think it can be applied in multiple, but that
Yeah.
idea of I need to lose weight is different than I want to be, I'm choosing to be, or I want to be healthy. To me,
Definitely.
those are different mindsets. Or
I
I need to be more successful. I need to be this. I need to be versus I'm choosing or I'm wanting to pursue different things for my, out of desire or versus the feel of the outside pressure of needing to. So it's some I still work on it because I say I need to, and then I try to catch my brain and do you really need to, or is it something you're desiring? So I it's the language, to me, language can really be a powerful um, piece of, and whether it's internal language or external language, how you and that's why I was going along with what you were talking about here is, you know it's that, is it a need or a desire? Is it craving for yourself, or is it a need because it's a pressure from somewhere else?
Yeah, need turns into that desperation, the I need to survive, and when you settle into some sort of faith, and you see the bigger picture of the world, that the current circumstance doesn't really matter so much. It's really a bigger picture about what you want in the future and what you're aiming for. You really loosen the grip on survival and live in the present moment. And I think this also comes down to taking off the layers of programming and trauma that's been put on us from our parents, from our society, that we are not safe in each moment that we're living, but we really are safe in each moment because we're living in it. There's a lot of safety by being present, right? And then we're able to make really good choices when we sit in our own security within ourselves and not outside. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And this goes along with this paradigm shift that I'm working on shifting in the brains of everyone around me, is that, and everybody knows this already, but there's layers and layers and layers of this trauma that goes way, 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 way back, right? And it's just like constant healing, constant reinforcement of what we already know. And we didn't even realize that we were still hanging on to stuff. And then it comes back around again, right? So just to show you guys, the fourth leading cause of death in the US is the current medical system. It's the way our current healthcare system is shown up with surgeries, with medications, with side effects. It's showing that this program is going around and it's not helping us thrive. And the number one cause of death is heart disease, which is from lifestyle choices. So here is the new paradigm that we are imprinting after this deprogramming, right? We are made for complete health and wellness and vitality. We need three things. I've changed this over the time of my studying. The physical body, it matters, right? We need that to be balanced. The emotional, mental body needs to be balanced. And also the chemistry body needs to be balanced. But we can break this down even more into this emotional and spiritual side is also the light body, the unconscious thing that you don't see. So these are three parts: the light, the chemistry, and the physical matter. Recently, I've really realized that light is very important, and the light that comes from the sun actually really activates us and balances out our entire body. It's a part of that universal nature signature that I'm not like a sun god or whatever. I believe in all of nature and the goodness of it all, right? I believe in the goodness of it all. But really having all of this balanced in a very simple way brings about huge transformation. And that's the problem, that this is very easy, that it's hard for people to understand that it can be so simple. So what is weight? Simply put, weight is input and output, calories eaten and calories burned. Now we focus a lot on nutrition because this. All right, if you do yoga, that's about 300 calories in an hour. Sitting is about 100, exercise is 500. What is the difference? Like 200 calories? What is that? A couple nuts? Right? It's really all about what you're putting in your mouth that's really affecting your weight. Okay, because you could just it's not really that many calories that you're burning extra when you're doing exercise. So it's really important to slow down, eat mindfully, and to go against the grain, because our culture is go, 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 go. I can't stop, but we have to actually stop and focus. Weight and BMI is outdated. The medical system has not caught up with us yet. You'll go into, when I was in my bodybuilding competitions, they told me I had to lose weight. Okay? Because I had muscle and it weighed more. And that's just not right. I was very healthy. There was no reason for me to lose weight. So you can see here that 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle, look at the size difference, right? So muscle is an investment. I do definitely suggest more strengthening, because I think of muscle as you buying a stock. Okay. And if you want to lose weight quick, but not long lasting, it's more cardio. So if you want to buy a stock, and you can get very rich off of investing in stock. It's good worth. It's good value. The muscle will stay and it'll be lasting. You could eat more later on. You won't fall apart when you get older. It's a good investment, but you don't see the return right away. Okay. And I say throw away the scale. Throw away the scale, because every time you look at it, isn't this what you're looking at? It just says, you just get that feeling of like, I'm fat, I'm heavy, every time. Is it ever going to be enough? Are you ever going to lose enough weight? Right? So I just say, stop, throw it out. It's not worth it. Focus on feeling good inside. Yay, I want to do a little activity with you guys. Just so we kind of get a before and after. So whenever you think of diet and weight loss, I want you guys just to shout out some words and feelings that pop up when you think of weight loss and diets. Just go for it.
Restriction.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Anything else?
Being hungry.
Anything else? I think stress.
Hardworking.
Hard work.
Throwing away things I like, food I like.
Sacrificing joy.
And the waste of money that I spent on the food that I like. And now I have to throw it away.
Oh.
Empty the cupboards.
Oh.
So
Losing out.
Denial. Like denying yourself.
Denying oneself of enjoyment.
Actually, not knowing what to do, because there are so many different kind of schemes. And do I need any of them, or can I just start counting calories?
Yeah,
Something.
I understand.
Futile.
Futile.
Futility. Futile.
It kind of makes. Yeah, that comes with confusion.
Like
right? Yeah.
You know, you can try it. You can always keep trying, but you never get there.
Like swimming upstream.
Magical diet.
Well, or you lose a little bit of weight and then it all comes back again. It's like, really? So yo-yo cycle, I guess. Yeah.
I know 2 women, one of whom just suddenly shed a lot of weight, and she says she has no idea how or why. She wasn't ill or anything. The other one went to hospital and had her stomach stapled. She's lost a huge amount of weight. It just fills me with horror.
I have a little story to share. I went to since I just moved to Ojai, I ran into someone at a cafe, and she was a nutritionalist, and she invited me to this party, and there was a bunch of healers, and it was really nice to get to know everybody in a similar field. And there was one that was also a teacher, but she quit her job because of all the stuff that's going on in the world, and she just decided to shut herself off because she quit her job. She was done with society. And she came to me and she's like, could you help me? And I said, sure, I will help you. And I did some testing right there just to show everybody what I do. And I released some emotional trauma that was associated with what's going on in our current society. And I didn't spend that long. I just did like a quick, just to show what I was doing. The next day she woke up, she texted me, she said, I have a flat stomach. And she came to me with this, she's like, I feel something right here in her stomach area. And she's like, and I can't get rid of it. And that's what I was testing. And she woke up and it was flat. She didn't say the weight. And she didn't change anything except for realizing a couple things and just releasing energetic and connecting the pieces, right? So these words live in our body and actually become mass, right? Negativity is stagnant and gets stuck. And what, Saska, you said something, another word, but we missed it.
Yes, I said magical diet, it doesn't work. You know, like shakes. Do you hear me?
Oh, like the gimmicks?
Yes, exactly. But I don't know how to say it in one special word for this.
Like the gimmicks. Yeah, they try and get you.
Yeah.
All right, so here is our little...
Our word cloud.
Our word cloud, our ugly word cloud, right? And at the end, we're going to go through our new perception. So I'm going to save this. Okay, we're back. Well, I guess we're going to do it this way. I don't know. Okay, so how do we eat more mindfully using our body mind? If you're coming, everyone's coming from a different place. If you find yourself continuously eating mindlessly, not having control whatsoever, and you're just whatever something's there, I'm eating it. I don't have any sort of filter. It doesn't matter. I suggest journaling to slow down, right? So calorie counting and plugging numbers, that's just way too much of a waste of time. And think about it, once you can't keep that for life, you can't keep that for life. And once you get rid of calorie counting, that obsession needs to be replaced with something, and that obsession automatically goes back to food. So obsession breeds obsession. It just doesn't work out. So the point is to slow down. So the best way to actually become more mindful and to train yourself to slow down is to actually journal what you're feeling about your food, what you might eat, what you plan to eat, and just journal what is going on in relationship to food, to actually digest what's going on inside. You're building a relationship with food, right? Just like you would build a relationship with your partner, with your friend, with your coworker, with me. You have to build a trust and a bond with food. We have to repair it. So I'm just speaking from my experience. I hate when this happens in my head. Can I eat anything else today? Like, how much did I eat today? Right? Does that pop up in anybody's head?
No.
That is working just with the mind, not with the body. How about asking your belly what it wants? Literally, whenever you hear that, stop and say, I'm confused. This is just a brain pattern. This is not actually what my body is speaking. So if you literally take that energy from the head, draw back down into your body, and then ask your stomach, this is training, reprogramming. Now we're reprogramming, and then asking your stomach, do I need to eat? It's going to say no. Right? It's because we're too caught up in mentally thinking, should we eat or should we not eat? And it's not the mind's decision. It should be the body's decision first. Body over mind. Oh my goodness. Okay. So when you shift to your body, now we can actually eat with our entire body. We're not just eating with our mind, right? Imagine eating with your entire body. You're eating it and it feels good from the inside out. You're not just eating to mentally satisfy that question. It's a whole different experience. The more and more I dove into actually enjoying my food, I actually enjoyed food a lot more by using my whole body. Well, when do you actually restrict yourself? When do you actually stop eating? Whenever your body tells you to. Sometimes I eat too much. No, I don't even say I eat too much, but I will eat too much, right? But it's nothing. It's just words. I don't actually put pressure on myself and say, oh my God, I ate too much last night. It doesn't matter. I ate that box of cookies and whatever, and it was great. And it was great, and I loved it. And then the next day in the morning, I don't feel like eating maybe until noon or 1 naturally. Just because you're checked in with your body and knowing that my body is still processing out toxins or the excess food that I didn't eat. This is my natural process. You have to work with what works for you as well. This gets into intuitive eating. Intuitive eating, by definition, is a self-care framework which integrates instinct, emotion, and rational thought. When we trust our bodies, we trust ourselves. I really like the rational thought. It's bringing your thoughts down to earth, right? Make it more practical and real and balanced. So give yourself permission to eat without any shame. And when you get rid of the shame, it frees up you to make healthy choices. So a problem with society is that we have all these pesticides, herbicides, GMOs, toxins, heavy metals, blah, 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 industrial crap everywhere. And that dulls our senses. So we can't actually taste our food and enjoy our food fully. It's a problem. So it takes away from intuitively eating. One herb that combats this is cilantro. Cilantro will improve your taste and smell and detox the senses so that you can enjoy food again. And I see this a lot. I wish my mom was here. I gotta send her that. This is a chart that you can look over later. I'm going to keep going because we have more to keep going. So intuitive eating and mindful eating rejects diet culture, honors your appetite, experiences food with the five senses, smelling, touching, actually making the food, becoming one, building that relationship with food, and minimizing distractions. So while watching TV and eating, just notice, just now that you're aware of this is a problem, when you're eating and watching TV, you're going to the pace of whatever's on the TV. So if it's like a scary movie, it's going to be more adrenal, fear-based. You're going to be eating faster. If you're watching scary news, right? Same thing. So your environment does matter. If you're listening to more faster music, you're going to eat faster. Just think about it. If you're listening to music, you're also going to dance in a certain way. It's going to affect how you eat and how fast you eat. So when we transcend and get rid of all these fears about eating, should we eat, should we not eat? When we transcend all that, we actually turn food into medicine, right? It turns into a potent force that actually brings out our most vital expression. And we're able to heal ourselves and become more of ourselves through food. So getting in tune is hard because we don't understand what it's like to feel good. I'm just saying this because of my extremes. I'm able, in my stories of the extremes, I'm able to facilitate you guys. You guys don't have to. So you guys can just understand that I was once very complacent and not happy and not enjoying life and just not realizing my potential. And I didn't know. But then once I committed myself and saw other people doing it, it was really community and other people and having that relationship to show me how I could grow. I understood that I could grow. And then it got addicting for me and I went too far, right? But it's very powerful. And community is very powerful. And once you start eating good, then all of a sudden the bad food you're going to look at it and it's going to be gross. Because once you get to feeling healthy and vital, you don't want the crap anymore. I don't want to feel like that. I know that fried food is going to make me feel really bad tomorrow, and I don't enjoy that feeling. Like that. So in here, I also put that when we go through traumatic experiences, small or large, we tend to have fat as a security blanket. It comes all down to breastfeeding. Mother's breast milk is potent in fats, very thick in fats. And that's what we're trying to recreate in our body. As you could see that this is just a programming we're trying to not install. Now, I'm not shaming comfort eating. Comfort eating is absolutely great, but comfort eating consistently is a problem. This is called balance, right? Called balance. So when we're feeling crappy and we need that hug, go ahead and eat, right? But then there's a balance that we need to find in ourselves and to know when to push and when not to push. Intuitive eating also shows where you're indeficient and where you need things. So be aware. This is all about being more mindful and aware of yourself. See, over the past week, I've just been craving mushrooms for some reason. Just everything mushrooms. I'm like, where can I find mushrooms? I obviously need it for something. If you're craving salty things, you need more minerals. You need more salt, right? If you're craving fats or a certain type of fat, you can also replace it with a healthier fat. or a substitute for something that's more healthy. But it's all a signal, and it's just honoring what you're feeling. So the dieter says, I don't eat the pizza. I've seen this a lot, and I think I've done this too. I don't eat the pizza at the office party, but I really want to. But then I go home and overeat because I was restricting myself so much, and it just didn't work out. The intuitive eater goes to the office party, has a slice of pizza, gets home, and has a light dinner because they're less hungry. And then it doesn't stick on them as much, and they're happier, healthier, skinnier, and whatnot. The pressure, you see, the pressure is the killer of health. The real beauty in intuitive eating is that you approach it from a place of exploration and discovery, of playful open-mindedness, awareness, self-love, right? And I love this picture here because it's like your body is giving you text messages. It's giving you notifications. It's your little cell phone. It has all the answers. Your body is God, is self-healing. It is nature. Everyone say hi to Kings. It has all the messages for you if you slow down and listen. Slow down and listen. This is just a hunger fullness scale. It's all about awareness, and then we realize where we're sitting and with food, noticing when you're full, noticing when you're really hungry, and it's good to know the extremes too, and to know what it feels like to be extremely hungry, and to knows what it feels like to be extremely full, so that we can understand where we are in the spectrum. All right. I gotta say this, you must meal prep for the week. You must spend a couple hours on planning some food, cooking some food, because if you're buying food from stores, first of all, and all the time, or getting fast food, or getting like healthy fast food, it's not always authentically clean, and it's expensive, right? So you must spend some time cooking vegetables, the meat, whatever you want for the week. It's worth it. And plus we always say, oh, this week's going to be easy. I don't really need to like meal prep, but no, you get to the week and you get busy and you have no time, and then you don't eat for the day, and then you binge everything at night. There is too much going on in society. We have like 50 passwords for every account. We have to keep up with everything. It's not simple anymore. So we need to make a simple routine for being healthy. All right, so when should you eat? There are no strict guidelines, but I need to tell you guys that you detox everything in your body while you're sleeping. So it's best not to eat at least 3 hours before you're going to bed. Just shifting that one thing and making sure. That's the thing. You have to be aware. You have to be mindful and be like, okay, am I going to be hungry? I'm not going to eat right now. It's 5 o'clock, but if I don't eat now, I'm going to be starving at 8 o'clock, and then I'm going to eat everything. Right? So it's better to eat something small at 5 and then naturally go to bed later. And I don't like this either. I've been through this. I've worked out, therefore I can eat. Do you know why that's a problem? That's a problem because you don't understand you're worthy of enjoying food without working out. And yes, it feels really good to work out and then eat, right? Because you're super hungry. But that reward system will only go so far. You can't always rely on that. Okay? So this is just a guideline. You don't have to follow it like this, but fasting does have a reason. And this comes down to patience and silence, right? If you find yourself craving mentally, don't know why, be like, hey, like, what is it going to be tomorrow morning that I could eat breakfast? Like, I'm really not hungry, but I'm bored, confused, right? What is it really? I could be more patient, right? So the truth, we got to this, feeling good in your body is the goal. We all just really want to live a happy, healthy life. Your worth is not on the scale. Your worth is behind all these negative fears and programming. Once you shed them, you will see your light. All right. So I have to say 85% of serotonin is made in the gut. And what is serotonin? Serotonin is your mood. So if we're sitting here and we're like, food doesn't matter, it matters so much to how we're feeling. 85%. And also stress. I have to say, if we're stressed out, worried about the future, or living in the past, not living in the moment, our blood supply shuts off in the gut and it doesn't digest. This is a primal response, the fight or flight. If you think about back in the day, we're scavenging for food and we have to fight an opponent, we don't have to worry about digestion. The digestion shuts off. But now in our modern society, we take the news as a threat. We take our neighbor that we don't get along with as a threat. We take worrying about bills and blah, blah, blah as threats. And they're real. And it is real threats. But this constant stimulation stops us from digesting. And then we're not absorbing healthy nutrients. So how do we end this cycle? We're going to look at the paradigm of balancing out the emotional body, the chemical body, and the physical body in order to feel balanced and to shed everything that doesn't serve us anymore, okay? So let's start with the energy body. The energy body is your mind, your emotions, the light. Your mind and emotions are your beliefs too. What's living behind the scenes, behind this physical. And that's what we're doing. I'm changing your perception on eating because this is the big picture, right? This is long-term goals. I'm not talking about short-term goals. I'm talking about long-term transformation. That's why I'm looking big picture about what you're thinking and how you're feeling about weight loss in general. We really touched on this. Giving attention to problems makes problems bigger, right? Putting pressure on yourself to lose weight makes you gain weight. So I need to tell you this experiment because I think it's really interesting that with cigarette smokers, being addicted to sugar and food, same thing. It's an addiction. So they took cigarette smokers and they told them, you have to tell yourself that you love yourself every time you take a puff of the cigarette. And they ended up doing that and they stopped doing it because it didn't add up. You can't love yourself and hurt yourself at the same time. So they automatically stopped smoking. Same with food addiction, right? When you come to love yourself 1,000 times more than you do, there's always new levels of self-love, always a new level of healing. You can truly shed weight problems, bad addictions, things like that. So getting rid of mental negativity will make you lighter. These negative things sit in your body. So sunlight. I need to talk about this because, I see a lot of people, they come to me and they say, I have high blood pressure from my parents and it comes in my family. And it's so true that you're automatically predispositioned to have this in your body. And this DNA from your parents is given to you and it lives inside this cell, right? And the cell, that nucleus that's here, can you see my pointer? Yeah, you can. This nucleus here, he almost just jumped on. This nucleus right here has all the DNA and the DNA gets sent out, makes proteins, goes into this mitochondria. And this mitochondria gets activated by light, by the sun. And then it produces more pieces of DNA. It breaks it up. And how you change this generational diseases and predispositions is this mitochondria is doing the job for you. The sun actually comes in and activates and changes your DNA. So there's information in sunlight that comes in and allows you to transform. So being in nature, and this is why I really suggest going out in nature at least once a week, because nature has a mysterious, it's not even mysterious. This is it. This is the science of it. But when I'm in nature, I just have realizations. And, you know, just as an example, like going out and seeing a waterfall and how beautiful it is, and being like, this is beautiful, and there was really no effort. It just happened, right? Maybe I don't need to like push so hard in life, right? Just that realization came from nature. It was in the nature signature that came to me, right? And this is how you can transform generational problems, is that this light comes in and actually changes your DNA. It's encoded with something. We are meant to grow. If you think about it, at some point in the cycle, there was somebody in your family that didn't have high blood pressure, if you go way back. If there was somebody that didn't have diabetes, if you go way back, right? So it's possible. Any questions? All right. And this is another, just something you need to know. Physical body changes. Saska.
It was by mistake.
Okay.
But I tried it and I know how to use it for next time.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
That's okay. So learning how you feel before and after you eat is really necessary. Even before, right? If you go and you grab that pizza, it's like you're being mindful, be like, how do I actually feel before I grab it? Like, does this actually feel good? Right? It's good to notice how you feel before and after, taking the time. You'll notice when you eat something, there's bloating, changes in your stool. You might get nauseous when you eat something. You might feel more energized after you eat something. You might feel tired. I know people that thrive off of pasta and they get energized off of it. When I eat a bowl of pasta, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep for the rest of the day. Everybody is different. Okay, so ending the cycle, we need to learn about the natural cycles of the earth to know how your body physically changes over time. So every year we have all of our seasons, and during the winter is more of a building phase in our body. It's a good time to do weightlifting, to make that shape in your body with muscles, because we are in hibernation mode and we tend to eat more. So when we eat more, we want to be efficient and put it somewhere. So this is a good time to build your physical body, to build that muscle. In summer, it is normal to eat less. In winter, it's normal to eat more. So it's really hard during New Year, New You, during winter and be like, hey, I'm turning into summer right now. That's really not how it needs to be. But this is a perfect time for this workshop, because during spring is a really good time to fully detox, but it takes time. So this is a good time to digest this information and then fully embody it later on. This is a huge, a lot of information for you, but you're going to be able to take it and use it during the rest of the seasons and incorporate it as you go. Once you see this stuff, you can't forget, and give yourself time to blossom. So in summer, it's normal to eat less because it's hot. So we do more flexibility, more yoga, more Pilates, and then every month, so yearly we go through a cycle, monthly we go through a cycle, and daily we go through a cycle. So monthly, we have this full moon cycle. Every month we have the moon that goes around the sun and becomes full and then empties again. Whenever the moon is full, all the water on the entire earth increases. everything swells up. We tend to feel, during the full moon, we're full of water ourselves. So if you feel like you're more bloated that time, that is normal, because everything on the earth swells up in water. The moon is full, you are full, the earth is full. It's good to recognize this cycle so you're not hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself during winter because it's normal to eat more. Don't be hard on yourself during a full moon. It's normal to eat more. I know I've seen people that they always eat whatever they want during the full moon because there's so much more water, so much more energy that it doesn't stick on them as much. Okay. And then every day we go through a cycle, as you can see in the previous, is that you tend to be more bloated at night just because of what we accumulated from the day. And that's normal. Don't be hard on yourself, right? Compared to all the TV in society, nobody's bloated, right? And it's stuck in our head and it's annoying. And we tend to be taller in the morning. I just needed to add this because we tend to be taller in the morning because our body absorbed all the water into our tissues. And now all of our discs are higher. So our body detoxed overnight. It took in all the water and it flushed out all the toxins. So when you wake up, your pee will be darker. So there's a slide later for this, but I'm going to tell you right now that I'm talking about water and how much you should drink. You should, before you go to bed, have clear pee. I'm sick of this. You need to drink 8 glasses of water. You need to drink this. It's too much, right? Look at your pee. What color is it? I think it's down here. Right here. See the colors? Look at it. Right? So at night, it should be clear. And then by the morning, you could wake up and see your pee and it's going to be darker and you could go, yay, I detoxed. All right? Joyful open-mindedness. But yes, we have to look at pee, okay? Let's go back. Schedule time to completely relax and to completely exert yourself. And that's where balance comes in. It's not, whenever you take a day off of rest, it isn't like, oh, I worked hard, so I deserve it. No, you deserve to take rest even if you didn't work hard. Okay. All right, so let's go over the different types of physical activity. There's yoga so that you can gain flexibility. It helps your mind with that bending, not breaking. It teaches you to be more flexible in your thinking without, and accepting other people without them breaking you. This is mind-body connection. Yoga also expands your soul. It allows you to realize what your soul is saying. Strength training is ideally good for gaining shape in your body. Also to build that strength in your mind. So if you're working on something or if you have opposing forces coming against you, or if you feel angry and you need to get that out, strength training is for you. Okay? Endurance training. If you're working on a project and you just need to keep going, endurance training is good for you. Mental endurance and physical endurance, same. Just really see where these things really correlate, because there's a time and a season for everything based on what you're going through and where you want to go in life. You need to overcome an opposing force. Are people doubting you and you need to push through? Strength training. Do you really want to get in touch with your soul and balance being and doing? Yoga. Do you really want to finish this project? Do you really just have to push through till some point? Running, endurance. Nature walks. Connecting with the Earth's magnetic field. There is something about the magnetic field of the Earth that is very powerful and healing. If you don't have that in your body, any electromagnetic distortion coming off the computer can get stuck in your body and will hold on to negativity and weight, and things will get stuck there. Nature walks are really good for gaining mental clarity, the overall perception of life. Think about it. You look at the mountain and you stare at it long enough, you're like, wow, I'm very little, and there's so much more to the world. It's really good to having a bigger picture of life is very healthy, because we're very details on the computer, focused on things, need to get things done. Coming back, zooming out, and seeing the bigger picture is a necessity. It is for your mental. Okay, so locations of fat. We have, if you tend to hold on fat into your hips, tends to be more estrogen dominant type of person. So many people are on birth control right now that there's a bunch of estrogen in the water. Lots of estrogen in the water. And this is what's causing so much hormonal imbalances and autoimmune and thyroid problems, because of the estrogen from birth control is in the water. It's literally, people are eating it and peeing it, and they're trying to clear it out in the water, but it's not. It's still there. And that's why paleo diet, primal diet, and turning to a more running off of fats has become a real blessing for a lot of people. And I do encourage that in lots of people. Also, if you're holding a lot of weight in your hips, this deals with the sacral chakra, which holds on to a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of water in that area. The stomach, if you're holding a lot in your stomach, it's all about the quality of food that you're eating. The stomach is right here. So the easiest thing, the body's really smart. It'll eat something, some junk food, and then it goes, okay, where do I put it? Let me put it right there. It's right there. So it just throws it right in front of it. And then there's also adrenal fatigue. If we're constantly stressed out, we tend to get this tire shape, they call, around the stomach. Too much fat in the upper body is a lack of testosterone. More strength is needed. All right, how we doing? Good? All right. Blood sugar. I think this is a really good thing to take home. So we are our body's constantly trying to regulate itself. It's always detoxing. It's always doing its thing. It's always healing. Our body's always regulating the blood sugar. So we want to keep a healthy range. And this range, you can see this range right here. See, there's a spike during breakfast, during lunch, during a snack, during dinner. We get this spike. And this is a good balanced, right? But if you think if we had like donuts, it would go whoop, way up, things like that. And then it would drop really low afterwards. And then we get that emotional disturbance as well. We feel like crap. Not saying one donut's going to do that, but things like over time. And when we go away from this range and we get a huge spike, that is when our body says, store fat. Store fat right now. There's way too much sugar. So this is a really big secret here, is that reading food labels and knowing that if you're going to eat sugar that is above this ratio 10:1, if you're going to eat carbs above 10:1, you need to add more fiber into that meal to balance out the sugar, so it slowly digests the sugar so you don't get that huge spike. And we're going to go into a bunch of examples so that you can learn to read the label and when to add more veggies into the meal so that you can lower this sugar spike and stop it from being stored as fat. So I want you guys to categorize yourself. There is a spectrum of sugar imbalance where you tend to be more of a diabetic person, but you're not diabetic, okay? We're not saying that you are diabetic or you are adrenal insufficient. This is just being able to see where you are mentally and where you could go if you don't become more aware. So the diabetic person tends to be, and I also want you to see this mental chemistry connection, physical body connection. The diabetic person tends to be, you probably see this in your life too. If you've met a diabetic, they tend to be more happy-go-lucky, and they really don't, and that's the laissez-faire attitude that they have about life. So this is what they go with their diet as well, is that they don't really care. They'll just eat whatever. It doesn't really, this isn't important to me. I'll just grab it and eat it. And that tends to be the diabetic type spectrum person, where they can fall into the diabetic category. The adrenal insufficiency person tends to be more depressed. They need that deep rest. They crash. They grab the comfort food. They go, and then they crash, right? And they tend to be more inflamed, sometimes more allergies, more asthma. And the advice for this type of person is being a little bit more restricted, having more control in order to regulate yourself and not to be everywhere, right? There's a difference between being super obsessive and controlling and just slowly gaining control over your life. And with the diabetic type person, if you feel like you're more happy-go-lucky, it's good to have like nuts and bars and just place little things everywhere, so that when you're, oh, let me grab that cookie. Oh, wait, I could actually grab nuts. You know, so there's this categorization of people that we can actually look at when we're actually looking at the mind-body connection. And if you feel this is your way, I'm just giving you information to incorporate into you and for you to process and you to decide what you think is balancing for you. And will ultimately help you in the long run, not the immediate. So here we go. We want this ratio of 10:1, carb to fiber. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see it now? So you see here that we have 19 carbs and 3 grams of fiber. You divide that together, you get 6. So you want that ratio to not be greater than 10, because the body cannot handle a sugar spike greater than 10. So whenever you're looking at something, you need to look at this number. Now, something they don't add in this slide that I have to add is the sugar. You see the sugar is 2? You need to add 6 plus 2 as well, because sugars count. I don't know why they don't account for this, but it makes sense, right? You don't want that sugar spike. You can't just forget about the total sugars. So you need to divide total carbs by fiber. They mess this up by saying it's total fat. Well, I don't know why they boxed it here, but here's the fiber, 3. And then here's the sugar. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. 22 divided by 5 is 4. Because fiber slows down the sugar absorption. And we want slow sugar absorption. We don't want spikes. Spikes cause fat. The body's like, oh my God, so much sugar. I need to store it somewhere. Let's make fat. So you take 22 divided by 5, you get 4. But then look at this. You can't forget about this sugar part. I don't know why they, in this lecture that I grabbed from Google, they don't add this 5. So you need to do 4 plus 5. And that's okay. This is what we get to 9.4. That's okay. And let's say it went over 10. What do? You add some spinach. You add all the fiber that you can really get in order to lower this number. Next one, 23 divided by 3 is 7.7. That's okay, but then add 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like over 10. Meh, right?
No, I'm sorry. Rebecca, I'm lost.
Okay.
You said something about 10:1 carbs to fiber. That's what I wrote down. And now when I don't see where that comes into this.
So it's the ratio. It's really 10. You want the number 10.
For what? The
Left.
fiber or the carbs or what? Or the divide when when you've
After
divided.
division. Yep.
Okay. So 23 divided by 3 or whatever, the ideal number is 10. Yeah.
That
then you-
is a maximum. You
Or
want-
less.
Oh.
Or less.
Mhm.
10 is the maximum. Okay.
Mhm.
Not
Right.
the ideal. So 7 is worse than 4.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And then
And
make sure you add the sugar, because
Yeah.
we're all about not having the sugar spike. Then you got to add
What are you adding the sugar to though?
this number.
Which? To
4.
the 4.5. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Okay, got it.
So
Everyone
the
got-
Dave's has more fiber, but that also has more sugar than the previous one. If you go back to,
Yeah.
so this one doesn't have as much fiber, but it also doesn't have as much sugar.
Yeah. And everyone will be different in the store.
But these are kind of factory made foods. So what do you do with, how do you do it with real food?
You
Like
can't.
an artisan bread, for example. If you went to a
Google the average nutritional value of an artisan bread, and it'll be there.
Mm,
It'll be average though.
mm. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So ending the cycle again. So we went through the light body, the
But-
emotional stuff. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm, to me, it seems like though, Rose, if you're eating authentic foods that are made with, real ingredients versus processed. I mean, when we buy stuff at the store, things are more processed than
Mm,
if you're eating homemade or handmade
mm,
food. So I don't know. I don't know. Personally, I would probably worry less about stuff that's handcrafted with real ingredients than choosing
Factory
things
food.
that are
Mm.
processed. I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe I'm incorrect, but
You're completely right, because now there's no GMOs, there's no toxins. Where it depends on where you're getting it from too.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the end of the day, if it feels good, then
Eat it.
how great it is. It's knowing that difference. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so we went through some of the light, how to change the emotion, your perception. We went through the physicality changes that are normal and how to stay balanced in that. We went through some of the emotional, how to stay balanced in that. And now we're going to go through the chemistry part. Some detoxing symptoms of losing weight. So when you're going through, when you're changing the chemistry in your body, you're changing your lifestyle, you might go through some of these changes in bowel movement, throwing up, sweating, fatigue, gas, odor, mood swings, headaches, acne, tremors. These are all normal. Some helpful things to get through this detox is going to the sauna or the steam room, allowing it to be purged through the skin, getting a foot massage, massaging things out of your feet. It stimulates all the organs, reflexology. Mineral baths, salt tanks, really good for getting minerals back into your body, because when you're purging, it's just purging everything, even the good stuff sometimes. So make sure you're drinking extra water as well. And what you are purging is food colors, additives, processed foods, flavor enhancers, preservatives, environmental toxins, pesticides, medical drugs, recreational drugs, heavy metals, biological poisons, metabolic waste from eating too much, stress hormones. Literally, stress hormones sit in certain organs. Radioactivity, X-ray damage, all of that is all being purged when you start cleaning up. cruciferous vegetables are the best. It's kind of like muscles in the body. They're a good investment for later on because of the way it works in the liver. It's your liver investment. And the liver's job is to detox your body. That is the job of the liver. So make sure you're eating all of these types of vegetables. These are the best. So when your liver gets backed up, that is when all the real problems happen. You start getting thyroid, kidney, cancer. When your liver can't do the job anymore, it will just say, oh my God, I can't take it. And then it'll throw it up into the thyroid, to the next weakest gland, to the next weakest area. But if you really invest and eat some cruciferous vegetables every day, you're really going to see that benefit in the long run too. Sweeteners, chemistry. So we have to go over these. There's a lot. I can't believe this is still legal. Sweet and Low and Splenda and Equal. Avoid, 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 avoid. They cause cancer. And they cause you to bloat and to hang on to weight. It's just absurd that it's still available. Absurd. Okay, there's some money deals going on because the research is there. So these are some of the low-calorie sweeteners to avoid. Erythritol, just so you have a list. Stevia, monk fruit, and inulin is okay. Okay, honey, things like that. But sugar alcohols are not actually alcohol, just so you know. So don't think alcohol is bad. These are just sugar alcohols. Different. Avoid xanthan gum and tapioca starch. They are thickeners. They thicken bakery products. They thicken all of these things. And guess what they do to your body? They thicken you. All right, so avoid it if you can. I mean, you don't have to go crazy searching on everything, but if you notice that you eat the same thing every time and this same salad dressing has a lot of xanthan gum, it's time to get rid of it. We talked about water. Mineral deficiency is huge. Our vegetables are not the same. We don't produce things the same way. So now all of our vegetables are lacking a lot of these things. So these are the main minerals: chromium, calcium, and magnesium. For chromium, I suggest simply eating 1 Brazil nut a day. This helps with blood sugar regulation. Calcium, you need 4 to 5 cups of greens a day to have calcium. Or you can have some goat cheese. I suggest goat cheese because that's the most natural. All the other cheeses are really processed. Right now, goat cheese is really the best. Magnesium, necessary for mood. All these things are necessary, and need to be incorporated, or else you're not going to feel your best. Zinc. Also zinc. When the sperm meets the egg, all of a sudden there's a huge zinc storm that happens. They have photos of it where this is where creation starts, is from zinc. And majority of the people are low in zinc, but you can really get it from oysters. I suggest oysters. Okay. We're gonna skip that just for later. So this is the new quinoa, amaranth. It's the Indian version of quinoa. It's gluten-free and it has more protein than quinoa. And I haven't tried it, but I'm excited to try it. I need to order it. Just so you guys know, I haven't tried it. I just tested on my system to see what would be the best for weight loss, and this popped up, and then I researched it, and it makes a lot of sense. Some herbs for weight loss. We have lemongrass. Has anyone ever tried lemongrass tea?
No.
Yeah, it feels so good after you eat. It's a little lemony and it cleanses your palate and it really cools down the digestion. Really good to help you not bloat. You can do the tea, you can diffuse it in the air, or you can cook with it. Now that you're detoxing on this weight loss journey, the oil bonaset, you could have a tincture and take a couple droplets. You can ask me or read the packet on the bottle to see how much you should take. So you can have the tea or the tincture, and this helps you sweat all the toxins out of your pores. Toxins. When you're in a balanced state, things will naturally fall off. When you're not dysregulated. And we have lime. Lime is the oil for a zest for life. So when you add lime to anything, it makes you feel good. It opens up your heart. It brings some light and joy into your food. And that's why I went ahead and I tested and I saw this was, and it makes sense. It brightens up a dish. It helps you get moving. It helps you feel activated, helps move the past challenges that come with the apathy for life. Just bringing good energy back into the body. That is lime. Use food as a tool to feel happy and joyful. So now I know we're getting tight on time. I have a bunch of healing statements. I already really went through this. Everyone is beautiful. You are perfect the way you are. Okay, you don't need to lose weight. There's so many bodies in the world. Everybody's different. And you have to examine why you want to lose weight. You have to journal. You have to be like, why do I want to lose weight? Is it because I saw somebody that looked good, right? And if you do that, that's going to backfire. You have to move from a self-love position. You have to move because I want to feel good. There can't be any reasons external. It needs to be all inside, or else it's going to backfire on you. It's not going to work. Okay. All right. Last thing. I know that I said I was going to go to 1:30, but if you guys don't mind, I have one last activity. How are you guys feeling?
Good. It's fine.
Good. So I have this activity where we're going to sit in a very meditative state. I'm going to speak these mantras and you're going to see where they feel in your body. Does it feel true? Does it feel false? Does it bring up something you don't like? And we're just getting to know ourselves in relation to food and eating. And if something negative pops up, we breathe into it and we let it go and it no longer exists. It's a good thing that we bring up this crap. Because once we see it and we know it's not true, we can move past it. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I can only stop eating if other people stop eating. Does that feel true or false?
False for me.
I have to finish all the food on my plate.
Ah, yes.
I know, me too. That's something my grandma and grandpa were like.
That was instilled. Yes.
Yeah. There are
Exactly.
starving children in the world. Eat your dinner.
That's right.
That's something we all have in common.
It's very common stereotype everywhere, I think.
Yeah. And that's not true. You can always save it for later. We'll go through some true affirmations that will solidify the truth after. I treat my body like trash. I eat everything I see. I feel like a wastebasket.
Sometimes.
No, definitely not.
We'll get rid of that. We don't need that. Let that go. We're going to add some new affirmations later. I can't have the food I enjoy.
Yes, I can.
Sometimes I feel that way.
If you want to write it down, you can, to know if you want to go back to it. It's up to you. My body makes appropriate choices. I can be trusted with food.
Mhm.
Is there an area of your body that you feel? Can you let the tension go?
Don't know.
I know these are triggering at first, but they're going to get better. I let my mind dictate what my body needs and wants.
Not sure. Not sure.
My desire to feel vital in my body is stronger than the desire to feel sick.
Then the desire to feel.
My desire to feel vital in my body is stronger than the desire to feel sick.
To feel safe.
Sick.
Sick. Ill. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good. I eat nutritiously to fuel my body.
Probably.
I'm just gonna some static and keep everybody so they can be mindful. Yeah. When I am on a diet, I cannot be satiated. Just notice if it shows up in your shoulders, your hips, your throat, and just breathe it out. I realize that one bad meal won't make me fat. When I eat, I have no distractions. I focus on living fully with my food. I choose to skip the diet and choose healthy foods instead. I must starve myself to be skinny. If that rings true, we just let it go. It's not true. I am changing my life one meal at a time. That is your truth. I realize that one bad meal will not make me fat. I am forgiven. I easily stop eating at the ideal time for me, even if other people are still eating. I easily stop eating even if there is still food on my plate. I think we all need to let that one settle in. I'll say it again. I easily stop eating even if there is still food on my plate. Think about that happening and how does it feel? And that is your new truth. My body fuels my mind, and my mind calms my body. My mind and body work together to keep me healthy. Eating healthier gets easier every single day because I love how it makes me feel. I slow down and eat mindfully so that I can savor every single bite. I don't want to binge eat and feel crappy afterwards. I eat balanced meals that are not in surplus of what my body needs. I treat my body like a temple. I realize good food choices are good investments for my vital, abundant nature. Deep breathing, moving lots of things in the body. I crave foods that increase my well-being. I crave foods that increase my well-being. I don't have to eat less. I just have to make right food choices. Food is sacred because it keeps me alive. I treat food sacred. Food is not my only source of happiness. I feel content with life as it is. The healthier I eat, the better I feel. I eat out of boredom. Does that sit anywhere in your body? Does it have a story? Let it go. It's not true. Food can be enjoyable and nourishing at the same time. Food can be enjoyable and nourishing at the same time. Eating organic is not just a trend, it's a true source of health. I never deprive myself. I radiate good health. I eat foods that make me look and feel great. I realize that my body will drop weight naturally as I released my resistance to the idea of losing weight. I love feeling fit and strong. I will do my best and forget the rest. I breathe deeply, exercise regularly, and feel only good and eat good, nutritious food. And last one, I appreciate and love my body for the vital divine source that it is. All right. Now, what are some new words you guys got for weight loss? How are you feeling about it now? Be honest.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I realized that maybe 80% of those statements I did overcome.
You did overcome.
Yeah. So
In the
great.
moment or in the past?
In the past, but some releasing things were there. So now it's gone, everything.
Yeah, they're all things I've struggled with in the past too, but then it gets easier as it goes on. The more you just let it go. Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
Because it's not a straight shoot to a destination. It takes time. Yeah. So do you guys have any adjectives or words that you now feel about losing weight in your body? What do you feel now about losing weight?
It can be natural.
Natural.
It's possible, or it's normal.
Yeah.
No. Anything else?
It's healthy.
Healthy. Kathy, how you doing? Yeah. Anything else?
Affirmations help.
Positive act.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to move. Anything else? Couple more.
Kind of looking differently at your body.
Perception.
Yeah. Different, better, healthier perception.
It's natural.
Have that.
You feel that balanced perception, balanced.
Yeah.
Is there a sense of ease on weight loss?
You can be happy about it.
Happy. Yeah. All right. And this is our new perception on weight loss.
Lovely.
And I'm gonna screenshot this and then email it to you guys, and you could put it as your background, your whatever. And now it's a token of this is how it truly is. Just a remembrance of what we just went through, what we just cleared out. And if things popped up, that was completely expected. And you'll see some shifts over time as you clear out the old emotional patterns that we just broke through, right?
If you're going to send that by email, could you please also send the slides?
Yes.
Then we don't have to email you for them then.
Okay, yes. You got
Because
it.
they're brilliant slides. I love them.
Thank
Really
you.
good. Yeah.
Let me save this. And we're just going to get rid of the old one. We don't even need to save the past. Doesn't exist. Don't need it.
It's amazing how we can rewrite our consciousness about this.
Yep.
And so quickly too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No struggle, no stress. It just, yeah,
The
Natural.
answer can be very
easy.
simple. Yes. As long as we balance the chemistry in our body, the physicality of our body, and the mental of our body in that triangle, and you're balanced, a lot spontaneous, miraculous, feeling good, healthy stuff, it happens. It's true, right? It can be very simple if we allow it.
Mhm.
So congratulations, you have loosened the grip of control. You have more freedom in your own health.
Thank you.
And you guys already all work with me. I was going to go into my services, but I'll say it for the replay really quick. I don't want to waste your time. But in my services, this is very general. This is very general deprogramming. But if you one-on-one with me, I really muscle test and I see exactly the story that's going on in your body, the story your nervous system is replaying. And I test to see, this is the exact story that's connected to your tissue, to your emotion and your chemistry, and we are releasing it. And then we put new programming in. So we're just like a computer. We're taking out the old programming, putting in the new programming of being healthy. And I do this through muscle testing. And with muscle testing, I could see exactly when you should be eating, the time, the types of food, general or specific, the colors, what culture you should be, what types of food, culturally, Ayurvedic, how much you should be eating, the quality of your food, if there's any toxins in the food that you are eating, how fast, if you need to slow down your eating, and if you need to get rid of outside influences. All these things will pop up if they are imbalanced when I am testing you to help you stay balanced. And here is my little healing sanctuary in Ojai. It's been here for 2 months now. Well, basically a month because we had rain for an entire month. So I couldn't, very unexpected. That does not happen in California. But now the sun is back and we're thriving. I just heard my dog jump into the bathtub. That's interesting. Next workshop, which is going to be next month, I wanted to ask you guys, do you want it to be on the power of essential oils or on how to create abundance?
Both. But not together.
I would like, I'm interested in both. I would really love the essential oil one, personally.
Okay. Saska, what do you think?
Hard choice. Abundance. I don't know. Abundance.
So
But-
we're tied. Oh man.
But also essential oils. It's a very, very good topic. So
Yeah.
Both good. Okay, I'll figure out. I'm doing one each month with LA County, so I'll figure out. I'll try to make room for both in somewhere. Okay.
Well, if you're going to be doing them, you could do one and then the other the next time, whichever is easier for you to prepare.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we're invited.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. So I could shift around the schedule. I have like a general plan, but this is the one I was confused on. I'm like, next month, should I do this or this? But maybe I'll get rid of some other ones. And there's some good topics like women's wellness and things like that.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining in. This is a picture of me in my crazy bodybuilding days. It's not like that anymore. You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at a deepest level. And I love that because with weight loss, it's like, oh, I'm trying to control everything. I'm trying to make sure everything's right and I'm doing it right. It's so hard. There's so much information. But the truth is, when you realize that you are naturally healthy, you just have to get rid of everything that's distracting you from it,
Mm.
you can live in that truth.
Mhm.
All right?
Very lovely. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Good. Thank you.
Really, really interesting. Really good. Yeah,
Thank you for
very
sharing.
enjoyable. Yeah.
Is there any questions? Anything?
No.
Just thank you, and it gave me such a frame, things what I thought it can be like this, and those connections. It was like puzzle.
Oh, puzzle. Yeah, it is. The triangle is like a puzzle.
Yeah,
Mm.
great.
I will send you the
Thank you.
PowerPoint so you can reference and your
Mm.
new totem.
Lovely. Thank you.
Good. And I think I'll make, this was 2 hours. So maybe the next one might be 2 hours. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right.
Mm.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much for
Yes.
taking time on
Thank
a
you, guys.
Saturday.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you a lot.
Yeah.
Nice day.
Have a good night.
Look forward to seeing you
you.
again.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.